I was just going to ask you, there was something that came out about Elon Musk doing a Nazi salute. What do you think of that?
Elon Musk gave the Nazi salute. That's it. Like, I'm not going to be gaslighted about what I saw. Listen, if you're telling me that you gave the Nazi salute and you meant Cocoa Pebbles is your favorite cereal, okay, to you, that's what the Nazi salute communicates. But it's still the Nazi salute. If you tell me that I do this and I say it's because you're number one, well, that's fine, but it still means fuck you. It is defined by what it is. The thing that you did is the thing that it is. And whatever you want to bullshit us about it meaning is up to the listener whether or not they want to absorb that level of bullshit. Do I believe you? Well, that is an individual question you can ask each individual. I don't care. If you don't know what you are doing when you do that, then you shouldn't be on a stage anywhere in front of a camera at any time ever, much less having the ear of the president, if you don't know what that is. If you didn't know that that's what that was, you are unqualified to run any meeting in any White House ever. I don't believe you don't know what that means. If you do know what it means and you did exactly what we think it is, and now you're trying to use this as justification or like a smokescreen, then you really are not only a horrible person, but a spineless piece of shit that won't even own up to what you're doing. Both of those things are also wildly inconsequential to the very important aspect of having done such a universal signal to a certain group of people in this country and around the world. Because if you are the person who loves that signal or lives by that ideology, and you see someone and the position in government and the influence on the president that this man has, give that signal. No matter what he says, what do you take from that? It's like screaming fire in a crowded theater and then saying, oh, I was watching a reel and I said fire. Well, it's so irresponsible if that's not what you meant, that you have to be eliminated from any position of authority or ear of the president whatsoever. That is how irresponsible it is if that's not what you meant. Because the effect of the words is that you will embolden the people who believe in that signal. And they will not believe that you didn't do it on purpose because they live in a world where you're not allowed to so blatantly give that kind of signal to them. So, of course, if this is what you want to communicate to these people, but also not be held accountable for it, then you do something usually a lot more subtle so that it's a lot easier to excuse. But the idea that you would do something so blatant, so bold, so obvious, and then give such a nonsense justification, if I'm a person who's motivated by that, who's inspired by that, if I'm the type of person who goes to a rally and listens to a president say, I'll meet you at the Capitol, go take our country back, those people thought Donald Trump was going to be in the Capitol. That's how easily they are deceived. And then what did he say just weeks before the election? I don't even know why they went. I never told them to go to the Capitol. I had nothing to do with that. Absolute nonsense, but it was cover for him to distance himself from those actions. And those people who were in jail until the pardon came down yesterday, those people who believed that he was going to meet them there and they were going to save democracy together were hung out to dry as though they weren't given the signal. Well, now these people are given the signal. And that is the formula. You communicate that it's okay, that you're behind them, that they have immunity or will be pardoned or have the support of the government. Let them go hog wild and then act like you don't know what everybody's talking about. So no matter whether he meant it or not, he did it, and it's done, and it is what it is. And it will have the effect on the people who would respond to that the same, regardless to his intention, because that's how the signal is given. That's how the message is communicated. You communicated the message. Even if you say afterwards that you didn't mean that and you disavow those people and you have nothing to do with that, that's what they're used to hearing. That is how you play the game. If I'm a person who believes in that shit and I see you do that shit, I'm like, this guy's on that shit with me. I know what he's got to say, but I also know what he just said to me. Let's go. It's already had its effect. And if you didn't mean it, it's almost worse than if you did. Because if you didn't mean it, then how inconceivably idiotic are you? And if you did mean it, then you think we're inconceivably idiotic for believing this bullshit that you put forward. No matter which one of those things is true, the die has been cast. The effect of that gesture has already taken the people who respond to it, they have taken it to heart already. It already happened, like you did the thing. If you blow a dog whistle, dogs respond. Doesn't matter what you say after you blow the whistle. That's why it's a dog whistle. This wasn't even a dog whistle. This is a fucking foghorn. They heard it. You're better. You're going to be more likely, honestly, to convince people who don't believe in Nazi ideology that you didn't mean it than the people who do. The people who do believe in Nazi ideology are absolutely 1,000% convinced that you meant it. They know for sure that you meant it. So imagine if you actually didn't. How fucking irresponsible is that? How much worse is that? That's like pushing the nuclear button on accident. Well, come on, man. I thought it was the PlayStation dunk button on NBA 2K, but it's a nuclear button. Well, you launch the missiles. It doesn't matter what button you meant to push. You launch the missiles. The nuclear launching is the best analogy I can give you because the missiles are in the air already. It doesn't matter. The people who believe in that ideology saw that gesture 1,000% as a gesture to them and their ideology. And there's nothing that even Elon, who gave the gesture, could say to make them think differently. That's the point. That's the point. So the rest of it's just conjecture anyway. He already screamed fire in the theater of crowded people. People are already trampling each other at the exits as they are responding to what they heard and what they believed that meant. Whether or not you then have a discussion about why he screamed fire, well, we're going to do that in the wake of all of these trampled dead people at this tiny exit. We don't know what the people who respond to that type of signal are now feeling emboldened to do because they saw that from that person. We don't know, but I guarantee you that they are emboldened, that they do see that as the signal it is and a green light for their agenda. That is a fact. That is how the game is played. And if you are playing it by accident, you are a dangerous motherfucker. And if you're playing it on purpose and then trying to play us, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. So yeah, let's, you know what I mean? I won't even engage the what he meant or whether it was from the heart or whatever the fuck else, else. That is the distraction, because the thing already happened.
Yeah.
It already happened. If you are a group of people who cannot speak your ideology or have allies in government transparently, then you are constantly looking for signals that the people who are in power adhere to your beliefs, because you and the people in power know that you can't be transparent about it. So the way that you look at the world is that person speaking to me in code or not? Is this somebody who's believing in my ideology but obviously can't say that and is trying to communicate with me or not? Are they saying little things that are reminiscent of the kind of literature I read or the people I quote or the theories I espouse, but not going the full way so that they can be held accountable for where those thoughts and ideologies are coming from, but say just enough so that I know that we read the same books, we listen to the same speakers, that we adhere to the same principles and theories about the world. And he's saying just enough so it catches my ear. Every Muslims do it. You can tell if somebody's a Muslim and they're not saying it by the things that they do say and don't say. You can be like, oh, okay, I heard that. That guy's a Muslim. He's in a situation where he can't speak on his religion, but now I know that guy's a Muslim. I know. You do that, right? Like, this is true for them as well. And to do something in that stage, in that moment, so blatant like that, it doesn't matter what you say afterwards. I seen that. I know what that is. The fact that you were that bold to do that, that's the biggest green light I could ask for. So now we'll see. We'll see what manifestos Elon Musk pops up in. We'll see just how bold these people are and how invincible they feel they are and how much power they think that they have just grabbed in the American government. Not only based on that, which is a huge, I would believe, moment for them, but all the other little things that they've heard and seen, and that is in keeping with a pattern of dog whistles and gestures and nods that would give them no impression other than they have support in this government. They have the ear of the president. And that is the type of faith that people entered the Capitol with on January 6th. And for all the rhetoric afterwards and all the disavowing of those people and Donald Trump himself of his actions that inspired those people, the moment that he had the opportunity, he absolved those people of their crimes. That lets you know that's how the game is played. Why wouldn't they think now that that is as significant an indication that they have the ear of the president and power in this government as anything else? And if they are to do crimes, if they are to move on Nazi motivations or goals or whatever they want to influence modern American society with that ideology, why would they not think that this government will protect them, either in their actions or after the fact, absolve them of their crimes? Why wouldn't you think that?